I say, not run. Don't be afraid. I will not leave you alone.
Amazing. He's like the white Muhammad Ali. He might not talk like Muhammad Ali, but he is the Muhammad Ali of the last generation.
With an all-time great. Not a generational great, an all-time great. A generational great would almost dictate that Oleksandr Usyk is just a great in the last 10, 15 years. No. Oleksandr Usyk is a great.
Usyk replied to Floyd with calm but firm words. He said, "Boxing is for men of skill and class. It's not a street fight, it's a sport of honor. Real fighters don't run or hide behind talk. They step in the ring and prove their worth."
Hey, listen, boxing, it's sport and the gentleman. It's not a street fight. It's a boxing. Listen, boxing. It's a boxing. Say it again.
Do you think he was being dirty during the whole fight?
I don't have idea. I have no idea.
No.
Maybe, but...
Analysts point out the clear gap between both men. Usyk stays calm, humble, and full of respect. He doesn't boast, even after all he has done. Mayweather, on the other hand, still claims he's the best. Usyk shows that true greatness needs no loud words. He lets his actions speak inside the boxing ring. No pride, no ego, just love for the sport. That's what sets Usyk apart from the rest.
One of the best of all time. I know a lot of people are kind of probably going to hear me say that and say, you're going too far, you're this, that. Because I've seen that straight away. As soon as Usyk did that, he's 2-time undisputed heavyweight, 1-time cruiserweight, 3-time undisputed. His resume, yes, look, at heavyweight, it's a lot of rematches. Just the way he's doing it.
Yeah.
And he's not just, okay, he could have 10 world... Deontay Wilder has 10 world title defenses.
Yeah.
Luis Ortiz and Tyson Fury are the only ones you really have any kind of weight to them. Usyk is taking on the perceived either number 1 or number 2 in these defenses.
Yeah.
Fury perceived number 1. AJ at the time 1. Dubois number 2. He's taking like, all right, who's the next in line? Right, I'm fighting him.
Yeah.
That's the way he's doing it.
And he's doing it in a way in which is so beautiful to watch.
Derek Chisora praised Usyk's mind and fight style. He called him focused, sharp, and mentally strong. Chisora joked you'd need to be crazy to beat him. That's how hard it is to face Usyk in battle. He admired UsyksFootwork.com and smart moves. Under pressure, Usyk stays cool and in control. Outside the ring, he's kind but don't be fooled. Inside, he turns into a force that's hard to stop.
Listen, what I'm saying is this, yeah. To beat Oleksandr Usyk, you have to be mentally disturbed in your head. Yeah?
You have to be mentally disturbed.
Yeah, because you have to understand.
Well, to take the fight in the first place.
Yeah, because when I saw him a couple of months ago,
Yeah.
I had a coffee with him, we were just chatting. The guy lives in Ukraine.
Yep.
Yeah. He goes, oh, before I came on the plane, I was sleeping in my house, and then those missiles were going over my house, and I didn't want to go in the bunker. I was like, I'll just go to sleep. That's some craziness, isn't it? I mean, like, hey, imagine you now, you're in your house in Barna, Timbuktu, and then missiles are going. What are you gonna be like?
Yeah, he's cut from very different stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
So,
cut
and
from very
then
different
remember,
stuff.
so you have to come in there looking to go to the other side, because he's looking to go to the other side. Mate, can you do us a favor? Can you stop beating us up?
Derek Chisora called Usyk the Ali of today. He praised his footwork, timing, and sharp mind. For a heavyweight, Usyk moves with rare grace. He doesn't need power, he wins with pure skill. Chisora said, Usyks.com reminds him of Ali, the mix of class, control, and clever moves. Watching Usyk feels like poetry in the ring. He brings beauty back to the heavyweight game.
Everybody gets it wrong. You don't box this guy. It's like, how can I explain it to you in a way you understand? You can't box him.
He's just too good.
He's just unbelievable great. Yeah, forget good, he's amazing. Yeah, he's great, he's amazing. He's like the white Muhammad Ali. He might not talk like Muhammad Ali, but he is the Muhammad Ali of the last generation. You understand? We have to give him the credit where he's due. Yeah, he is that guy.
Eddie Hearn says Usyk is more than a champ. He's a once-in-a-generation kind of fighter. Hearn's worked with stars, but Usyk stands apart. His skill, timing, and control are truly rare. Usyk moved up in weight without losing a step. He kept his speed, focus, and sharp rhythm. Hearn's praise isn't hype, it's deep respect earned. Usyk has changed how we see heavyweights today.
Evans.
just you're talking about one of the great generational. But I watched the first 2 rounds, and Dubois looked really dangerous. Came out, backed him up, and then Usyk just decided, I can't allow him to back me up, so I'm going to go on the front foot and box aggressive here. And he knocked him spark out. Unbelievable, just a true generational great.
Usyk's latest win pushed him into boxing's elite tier. Analysts now rank him 4th greatest of all time. That spot is rare, especially for an active fighter. It's not just wins, it's who, where, and how he beat them. Usyk dominates. Across weight classes with precision, he beats top names even in their home countries. This isn't hype, it's earned through skill and record. Calling him an all-time great is no longer bold, it's fact.
Now what's yours, Jerry? What's yours?
Oleksandr is the 4th greatest fighter on my personal all-time list.
Wow.
It's number 4. He's only behind Ali.
Oh, on your all-time list?
All-time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Only behind Floyd, Ali, and Manny. So, I'm really high on Oleksandr.
Usyk is more than a champion, he's a true master. He represents pure skill and unmatched fight IQ. Calm outside, but razor sharp once the bell rings. He doesn't chase fame or talk just to be heard. No drama, no noise, only focus and quiet. Fire Usyk lets his craft speak louder than any words. In a loud sport, his silence feels like strength. He proves greatness doesn't need a spotlight to shine.
The WBO, Frank Warner very close. Joseph Parker is obviously a Queensberry fighter. So, you know, there could be potential that they do what they did with this fight, what they did with the Dubois fight. It also means as well that, and maybe this is why, potentially it's because Riyadh season shows from November onwards, and I doubt we'll see Oleksandr Usyk in the ring this year because it's only July, but he's only fought, and I would imagine Usyk is going to be one of these 6 to 8 month type of guys. You know, that's the way he's been over the last 2 years. So you're looking probably February next year at the earliest when he finally fights again. So for me, it's like, right, well, that will be after the Riyadh and Ring Magazine's pay-per-views end, as in they're not going to be doing pay-per-view anymore. Maybe they look at that fight and think, Usyk Parker, it's a fight that, with the greatest respect, and Oleksandr Usyk is a very big name, it maybe does need that pay-per-view wall behind it in order to facilitate the purses that they could potentially forking out for it. So maybe that's why Riyadh season won't do it. Now, the Zone obviously have not ruled out pay-per-view, they're still going to do pay-per-view.
Usyk's resume tells the story loud and clear. He's beaten champions and crushed rising stars. His win over Dubois proved it once again. Dubois had size and power, but not the answers. Usyk outsmarted him with pure ring intelligence. After that, he stayed humble and quiet. He never calls himself the best others do that. In a sport full of ego, Usyk's calm stands out.
You know, it was sort of broken up in different directions. Even I wasn't sure because although I believe Usyk is the fighter of the generation in this weight class, he's at an age where, you know, overnight you sort of show up and you don't have it anymore. You know, Ali randomly lost to Leon Spinks around this age or whatnot, you know? So you know, you could get where all of a sudden, you know, it's not there on the night. So, and you know, you had
heavyweights takes 1 second, one split second you're off.
Yeah, exactly. And you also had a very motivated Dubois to add to that second, you know, who's a very powerful puncher and has sort of this bully mentality when he gets you in an uncomfortable position. But, you know, Usyk, you know, flawless performance technically, you know, stepping out to that weak side consistently, mixing up the jabs, making things uncomfortable for Dubois rhythm-wise.
He seemed more aggressive, right? Normally, I think with some of the bigger guys, he sliced the weak side, sliced that weak side. This was different.
I think with Dubois, the psychology is kind of out of the bag in that you got to kind of bully the bully, you know, and Dubois came out trying to bully him a little bit, so he started touching him and hitting him, and he started taking it to him because you start backing him up, you start putting him in a situation where he starts to doubt himself, and Dubois doesn't really come back from that very often. As a matter of fact,
he doesn't bend, he breaks.
In the fight, I thought he's a little bit awkward, Dubois. I don't know, but
he's one of those awkward strong guys.
Yeah,
he's just like super strong, awkward as hell.
He goes down and he takes the full count, and then he just gets up at 10 and walks across the ring right in front of Usyk, who's celebrating middle of the ring, like with his hands up in the air. Just casually walks right by Usyk's celebration as if he didn't just get counted out to 10.
Foreman Ali. Remember, he walks right to his corner.
Yeah, but I was like, dude, you could have got up. You waited to 10 and then
he was a beaten man.
You waited to 10 and then not only you get up, you don't even have the presence of mind to realize like I'm walking right into the picture where he's celebrating.
But Paulie, he was a beaten man before the first knockdown.
What sets Usyk apart is praise beyond his time. Fans, champs, and experts call him an all-time great. He's not just the best of this decade, it's bigger. His name is now spoken with boxing's true legends. History is being written with each win and move. His fights teach lessons in skill and control, undisputed champ in multiple weight classes. Beating prime stars with Grace's legacy is sealed.
He tried to jab, he tried to throw that right hand, and he landed that right hand a couple of times, by the way. He got Oleksandr Usyk in the corner, and he was trying to work, but ultimately, he's in there with an all-time great. Not a generational great, an all-time great. A generational great would almost dictate that Oleksandr Usyk is just a great in the last 10, 15 years. No. Oleksandr Usyk is a great since boxing began. Since boxing began, people. Understand what we're watching here. We're not watching a generational great. We're watching an all-time great. That's what Daniel Dubois was in there with. There is a discussion in my brain right now as I'm talking to you about where Oleksandr Usyk is when it comes to the best heavyweights of all time. Like, in my head right now, I'm thinking, who beats him?
A hot debate rages about Usyk's place in history. Has he surpassed Ali and Mayweather in pure skill? Ali was iconic. Floyd never lost a fight. But critics say Floyd's best opponents weren't top tier. Unlike Floyd, who leaned on defense and hype, Usyk's fame comes from skill and guts alone. His record shows he faces the toughest fighters. This argument shakes up how we rank boxing grades.
Interesting heavyweight division, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys thought of Usyk's performance, where he ranks in the all-time list. I know, everybody was big into their nostalgia, but remember, Soviets were not turning pro until the 90s, and I think that makes a big difference. That's another thing. Heavyweights are bigger. Lefties are more common now, and also the Soviet era of fighters did not start turning pro until the 90s. So the old days, they didn't have to deal with those guys. So a lot of things that also favor Usyk being a GOAT. But of course, man, it's hard to pick against Ali being the GOAT.
Ben Davidson added his voice to Usyk's praise. He pointed out Usyk's rare two-division conquest, undisputed champ at cruiser and heavyweight ranks. This puts Usyk in a truly elite class alone. It shows his skill, grit, and steady mindset. Davidson's words carry weight as a trainer. He knows the deep technical side of boxing well. His respect proves Usyk's greatness is real.
But makes it obviously another thing for you about.
It's not really a good time for me to talk about that sort of thing. So,
besides just how good is Oleksandr Usyk? We've seen him now coming to the heavyweight division, fight a Derek Chisora, fight Anthony Joshua twice, fight Tyson Fury twice, and he's the undisputed heavyweight. No, he was until obviously the belt let go. But what do you make of him as a fighter? Just sum him up, special fighter.
Yeah, he's put himself in the mix to be. He's put himself in the mix as one of the greatest heavyweights that's ever been. So, undisputed cruiserweight, undisputed heavyweight, amazing.
Usyk's path hasn't been easy or safe. He never padded his record with weak foes. From the start, he chased the toughest fights. He went into enemy rings, faced top champs. Others avoid risks. Usyk seeks them out. This warrior spirit earns him deep respect. He knows greatness comes only through struggle. In a soft era, he chose challenge and risk. And now, his bold path is paying off.
Usyk has dropped Daniel Dubois! What a shot!
I'm sorry. I can't help it, man. I fucking love this. Honestly, I fucking love this game.
He's missed it! It's over! It's over! The impossible time!
Fuck me. I'm sorry for going on like a lunatic, right? But it was unbelievable. And it's funny how this fight all came about, right? The controversy in the last fight, which for me was never controversial. It was a low blow, simple as that. And I don't think we've ever seen Oleksandr Usyk ever look for an easy way to win. In fact, I think of all the fighters on planet Earth, he is the one who takes the hardest road to win. There's no tune-up fights for Oleksandr Usyk. It's the biggest fight in a heavier weight than he should even be fighting at, and he makes life harder for himself, not easier. And I think he has proven his character time and time again. But yet he was accused of not being, a real Christian because he was a cheat. He was accused of deserving an Oscar because he was a play actor and robbing Daniel Dubois of what should have rightfully been his, which was a world title. And after the Tyson Fury fight, Daniel Dubois stepped in the ring and called him out. And Oleksandr Usyk immediately turns to Turki Al-Sheikh and says, Mr. Excellency, make the fight. He had no problem in setting this up. And immediately you kind of think he was in the middle of talking about his, his father, I think at the time. It was an emotional moment. That's a time where when you've accomplished what he's done, you deserve respect. And I think he was disrespected there. And I think he took that personally, in the words of Michael Jordan. Now, in the first round, Oleksandr Usyk did exactly what he needed to do to Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois coming in with a load of confidence, wanting to be the aggressor, wanting to be the dominant bull that he was against Anthony Joshua.
Dave Caldwell praised Usyk's constant pace. He said few heavyweights match his accuracy. Most rely on power bursts to make impact. Usyk keeps steady, landing shot after shot. His body work and timing wear foes down. Caldwell noted Usyk denies any break time. Opponents can't rest or reset against him. That's what makes Usyk so tough to beat.
Pick up the pace, and you just still can't go with it. It takes, it does have an effect. But what I'm trying to say is Usyk's work to the body, the volume of body punches. I'd like to see the stats on body punching. Be it straight, be it a jab, be it backhands, whatever. Because Usyk's volume of body work is what I thought was the difference in the fight. His lead hand activity was probably the best it's been since he's been at heavyweight, maybe. I thought he took away, we were all talking about the Fury right uppercut going into the fight because he had a lot of success. We were all talking about what Tyson's going to do. But, I said Usyk's clever. These people, they're going to look at that and see what they can do.
Paulie Malignaggi called Usyk's fight a masterpiece. He praised Usyk's balance and smooth movement. Usyk's angles kept him safe while he struck hard. His ring IQ was sharp, footwork precise, timing and control were nearly perfect. Said Paulie, he admired the way Usyk dominated with skill. It was a display of pure technical boxing art. Malignaggi sees Usyk as a master of the craft.
Why in the rematch stops him early? Was it 4 or 5? I don't even. I'm so caught up in the moment. I don't even know which round it was. It was 4 or 5, but man, it was in the first half of the fight. What a performance by Oleksandr Usyk, and a lot to discuss here, guys. A lot to break down here. First off, Dubois much more successful in the first fight than the second fight. Was the wet ring? Did the wet ring have anything to do with it? I saw in the post-fight interview, Dubois was asked about why he couldn't land his jab. What do you guys think? Was obviously Usyk's gonna make some adjustments. I think the adjustments are gonna be made in rematches. But did the wet ring? Because I thought the wet ring had a big part to do with why Usyk had some trouble in that first fight. And a wet ring hurts footwork guys more. I was a footwork guy. I've worked out sometimes in wet rings. It's frustrating. I've actually thrown temper tantrums in gyms over rings being too wet. So back in the day, not now. But what I'm saying is, to fight in a wet ring, that had to have some effect on Usyk and his footwork, because he's a footwork guy. And tonight you just saw his footwork was stupendous, magnificent.
Roos said Usyk stepped in with quiet fury. Despite his wins, some still doubted his place. British media and fans downplayed his skill. Usyk felt like his legacy was ignored. That anger turned into focused determination. He didn't just fight. To win, he fought to prove. To critics and the world, he made a statement. Usyk showed he's more than a champ, he's a legend.
I think he went out there with bad intentions, didn't he? I think he was on a mission to prove that, 38 isn't old yet. And I was talking to some other guys, including Richie Woodall, and saying that, he's gotten better. If you look at his last 3 fights, the first Fury fight, second Fury fight, and this one, each one has gotten better, more dominating each time. So, age is a number, I guess. When you're in the gym all the time, it takes a long time to age.
When we spoke on Thursday, I could tell you were genuinely confident, but did you believe it could be so early and so conclusive?
No, I'd be lying to you if I said that, no. I thought it could be dominating. I thought he was doing the things that I think Dubois did what I expected him to do, and Usyk did what I expected him to do. He controlled, moved, waited, but then he started landing hard.
That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more great content soon. We'll see you again next time.